So today we are with the lovely Gillette. She is my friend and my client for the last, I'd say, what, 15 years? And today we are going to be doing revamp. So tell me about why you're here today.
Well, Sarah, I'm here for you to transform this face into something that I can create for myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, I'm getting older now, and the pigmentation, you know, I have like little bags under my eyes. So I just want to refresh and brighten and just look.
I think you would all die if you actually knew how old she was, because she looks like she's in her early 40s and we are what? Just early 50s?
We are 54, 55 this year.
You all know that I love the Rose Ink tinted serum. So this is going to give Gillette a lovely glow, but it's also just going to even her out a little bit. So we're just going to take a couple of pumps. I'll get you to have a look at this as well. And load up your brush. And just spread this over the face. And these little particles of pigment is going to just even out your skin, brighten up the skin as well. And when you put your powder on top, do you find like during the day, maybe afternoon, you don't feel like you've got anything left on your face?
Totally.
Right. So we need the little steps underneath just to make sure that everything stays put.
I only do it for the morning. By the afternoon, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. So this is gonna last you a little bit longer because you've got those pigments.
Oh wow.
You can see that, right?
Yeah.
So that is going to be your first step when it comes to everyday makeup. So even if you're going out, always kind of layer your makeup. So this will be your first step. Then we're going to go in with the Macao Nars Sheer Glow Foundation. And we're not going to take this all over. We're just going to take it where we need a little bit more coverage. So we're using the same brush, load it up, and just where we want to be a little bit more flawless, which is generally through the center of the face, I'm going to take this foundation. And what's nice about it, it's going to give you a nice glow, but you can stretch it out as well. So it doesn't have to be heavy. And you're always going to get more of a professional finish when you take the product into the brush, as opposed to putting it onto the face first. Yeah. And you've got beautiful skin anyway, but this is just making it look flawless. We're going for the flawless. Perfect. Let's try the hem on it. Wow. There we go. Now concealer. Let's brighten up under the eye. And let's go for, we're going to use Dior. And this one is Dior Backstage in 5W. So when applying the concealer, you want to take it just where your dark through there.
Okay.
Where you want to lift through there. And I don't see any other areas that I think you need to conceal around the face. We just need to lift and brighten around the eye. And if we need any more, we can go in after. Now, in order for the concealer to kind of stay a little bit longer, let it set and dry. Yeah? So leave it a couple of minutes to map out maybe your contour and then come back to it.
Okay. I was always worried that when it dried, that you had to actually rub it in before it dried.
This is really creamy and it's not going to dry to the point where it's going to set. It's just going to get a little bit more tacky, so it's going to look a little bit more camouflaged. Yeah? So we're going to go for the Fenty. We're going to use Espresso contour. So this is just about sculpting and kind of snatching the face a little bit more. But we're going to snatch it in a way that is elegant. We're not going to snatch it like the 20 or the 15-year-olds are doing it, right? Okay, so we're going to keep it. We're going to keep it higher.
Okay.
So we can see that you've got gorgeous cheekbone there, and we're just going to start by sculpting it through there. Okay. So that is your first line. Take a little bit through the forehead, small amount, and then underneath the jawline here, we can take a little bit there.
And this is?
And this is Fenty. So Fenty Beauty in Espresso 05. Yeah. So this is a pure contour. Now you're contours are different to your bronzes because they're a cooler shade. So they're made to sculpt, and then we're going to bronze on top. Okay, so this is like an extra step, but we do it in such a natural way. It just makes you feel a little bit more put together and sculpted for when you're going out. And it's really easy for you to do. So you want to blend this out with a synthetic brush. Okay, not a real hair brush. So keep your, we're going to have a couple of brushes for this. We're going to have something for your foundation, something for your contour and bronze, if we use a cream, and something for your concealer. Yeah? So it's very, very gentle. You can definitely build up. So if you want to, you've got your guide. Circular motions.
I was going to say, what motions?
Just circles, just to blend that out. And you can see that, right? And now we can go ahead and blend out your concealer.
Okay.
So when you're blending, just press. Get yourself a dense brush.
Okay. What about one of those spongy?
Absolutely. But know that when you're using one of those beauty blenders,
yes,
yeah, it can absorb product.
Yeah, I did read that somewhere, so I'm aware of that. So not to
overly or put a lot of more product. It depends on how heavy-handed you are.
Right.
To be honest, because this one you could see. So if you look in the mirror for me, all I'm doing is just pressing it in. So it's a really dense brush. And just let the brush do the work for you. This is a Makeup Forever. This is the 100 straight brush. And it's just really easy to blend out.
Wow.
So after I've done base, I always like to frame the eyes before we go into eye makeup and setting anything. So we're going to do eyebrow pencils first. So we've got 3 here. And we're going to see which ones are working best for you, yeah? So let's go in with the pencil first. So this is new by NYX, Blade and Shade. Amazing, amazing product. You're going to see now why. So Gillette has lovely fullness through the beginning of her brow, but we're just missing a little bit at the end. So we're going to bring that back. So when doing your brows, always kind of groom them into place. Okay. And then you want to design the brow. So we want to keep everything natural, but we just need to build on what we already have, okay? So we're just going to take and start our line from underneath, and we're pulling it up into that fullness of the brow, into where the arch is. So you almost don't need anything there. I'm going to take a little bit more on the top. And with this one, because of the way it's shaped, you can actually fill in, but also get a sharper line where you need to.
Like that brush.
Go back with your brush, with your groomer, and soften it out. And again, with brows, it's better to build up than to go heavy straight away. So right at the base of the eyebrow, you want to lightly just shade. You don't want it to be blocked. And then we're actually just going to set this into place with the e.l.f. brow mascara, okay? And this is lovely because it's tinted and it has fibre, so it's going to build up your natural brow. Now I always take it off on the back of my hand because it always just has too much product. And then lightly kind of tap back into it. And then we're going to just set this into place. And you can see the difference of a brow.
Absolutely.
We need the brows. We need the brows.
We sure do.
Okay, so let's talk eyes now, yeah? We're going for an evening eye because we don't really do anything for during the day, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so let's do evening eye. So let's start off with the Pat McGrath. I love this one. This is platinum bronze and it's a liquid eyeshadow. sometimes this might be all you need. I mean, my cousin Rach, you remember Rachel?
Mm-hmm.
She absolutely adores just putting something like this all over and blending, and that's her gone. Like bit of eyeliner, mascara, and she's out. So literally,
it's the kind of
thing we need, right? Something quick. So just all over the eye.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to take it up to the crease. So if you open the eye for me, darling, and just look straight ahead. Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's the crease of your eye.
Okay.
So that's where you're taking it up to. And you just want to tease this out. So you don't want to take it too far out. You want to just tease this out. Blend it. And the more you blend, you'll see the more sparkle you get. Okay. Okay. So I just think these ones are absolutely, for the evening, stunning. And you can put it as light or as heavy as you want. You can take it in the center of the eye, just for a little bit of sparkle, but we want a smoky, so we're going all over. Okay. Now what I do also from this step here is just take a clean brush and just tease it out. And it just softens that crease out, okay?
Okay.
Yeah? Open the eye for me, that's it. So once you open the eye, you'll be able to see where that crease is. And then take that clean brush.
I always think my creases, you see, like this first
fold?
one. Yeah, I think the fold is my crease.
It's where the socket is. That's the crease. So because you've got slightly hooded eyes, this is a good technique.
I'm going to need plastic surgery, right?
No, you definitely don't. Yeah, definitely
I'm not
don't.
going to be able to see. They're going to cover my eyes, so I'll be able to see.
And then what we're going to do, we're going to take this lovely compact from Tarte. This is one of their limited edition ones. It's called Gilded. And we're going to go in with that kind of medium brown. So you can see there. With the same clean brush now that we used. Kind of test it on your hand so you can kind of see. Keep the eye open. And just blend. Now I've gone for a matte shade because I don't want too much sparkle. So even though that we're in our kind of late 40s, early 50s, we don't want sparkle all over the eye, but we can do it on the lid. Okay, the lid is smooth, but we want the crease to be smooth as well. Okay. So go for a matte in your crease. Slightly medium tone, not too dark. This is your kind of contour shade on the eye. And I'm just teasing, it's a light touch. And I'm kind of doing circles. Do you want to have a go? Have a go. Try and do that circular motion. So look in the mirror. Yeah. If you're right-handed, left-handed, have a go. Okay. Keep the eye open. And that's it, that's the crease. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going towards the eye, or
so you're just doing it back and forth.
Okay. So
okay. Do your back and forth so you can feel the crease now, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, when you're at the outside, do light circles and take it inwards.
Inwards.
In
towards the eyelid.
In towards the crease.
In towards the crease, that way.
Yeah. So you're your circles this way.
Okay.
Okay, circles that way. Perfect. There you go. You said you wanted to learn, you're learning.
You're going to learn today. You're going to learn.
You are. Wow. You see? And that way you can kind of feel the brush. Yeah. And you can you know what brush you need for this stage, right? Yes. So we're going for that medium tone, we're in the crease, circles, map it out, get your shape. A quick chat and we're going to take this up a step, right? We're going to smoke it out a little bit. So we're going in with a slightly darker shade and a smaller brush, yeah? So just take, and again this is matte. So we're just here. We're just on the outside of the eye. Remember, less is more. Just go back and slowly build that up. So you're placing a little smoke on the outside of the eye. Now be careful not to go too far out.
Okay.
Yeah, you're stopping literally where the eyelashes stop.
Okay.
So let that be your guide. And work your way in. And then take that crease brush and blend. So let's get that eyeliner going. So easiest way, this is called tight lining, and we're just going to hold and steady the eye while we go at the base of the lashes. And this is a lovely kind of dark chocolate brown. This one is by Makiage, and the shade is Dred. Nice. Just get it on. And this will just give the illusion of a thicker lash line and that invisible line. Okay, so when you're doing your mascara, we're just going to just take it at the base of the lash. So I'm just using disposables for hygiene. But we're just going at the base of the lash. Gillette's got amazing curled lashes. If you need to curl them with lash curlers. If not, just press and roll and wiggle it up. You can really get a good deposit of mascara throughout your lashes. So just look down for me, darling. This is e.l.f. This one is called Luminous Putty Blush. It's in a lovely coral orange. I'm going to keep everything just a little bit higher, so I'm just pressing. And it's the most beautiful shade. Keep it high. So we're going on top of where that contour is. And we're going to hit the nose a little bit as well, just in the centre, like the bridge of the nose. So I'm going to go straight in with this Dior powder. This one is called Rosy Glow. This is Poppy Coral. Gorgeous, gorgeous colour. And just with a small brush, because I want precision here. And these blushes here, they're very light. They're not strength. So don't fear that you're going to have bright orange cheeks or bright red cheeks. You're not. You can go straight in. Now I always take that foundation brush before I put anything else on. And I don't want too much here. Yeah? So I'm just taking that foundation brush and just smooth out. Right? So let's bronze here. Take a really large brush because we've got the Armani bronzer. This one is in 120 luminous silk. We just want a light sculpt and bronze and warmth to the skin. Keep that juicy glow. So just start from the forehead, warm it up, go back in. Underneath that cheek colour, always down the neck.
So what's this now?
This is translucent powder. So you want a more yellow.
Okay.
As opposed to the whiter one, right?
Right. Okay.
For our skin tone, we need to keep it a bit warmer.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So just literally take a smaller brush, and it's just about placement, textured areas. Tend to be through here, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Around the mouth. You know, the older we get, the less powder we need to be using, right? We need to keep that glow.
Absolutely.
But we don't want excess shine around the face.
That too.
We want the shine to be where we want the shine to be.
Absolutely. You want to have that glow where you want the glow, as opposed to shiny, slippery,
and sweaty.
Menopausal
Right.
face.
Yeah. So let's just keep it where we need it. And that's it, just through the centre. So let's do lips. So we're going in with the red, and this one is Dragon Girl. This is Nars Velvet Matte Lip. And I love it because you can see there's only a little bit left here. But what's good about these is you can map out the lip because it's a pencil. It lasts all evening and it's really comfortable on the lip. This is your 641. This is like a matte lip. We're going to take it on top as opposed to it being on bottom. Yeah. We want this, and it's a very sheer orange, so it's not going to be too much for you, okay? Let's see. That is really nice.
This was what it needed.
Yeah,
okay.
I love it. I think this is what it needed as well.
I think so too.
Yeah, and there we go. So we have done A little revamp for my darling Gillette.
Oh my gosh, I feel amazing.